conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in the trenches. It's no different. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down. She real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby. No witness. This is not even a conflict. You so nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, they make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 grip.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. Fall is in the air and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. Watson off play action. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Smith. And that is incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worked this up yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3. Maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Chubb running to the wide side. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. The Browns had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. And you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked down inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Smith now to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
first and 10. Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Walker. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On second down, it's Walker. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
This one complete to Lacey. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right, you're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's go now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Lion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Play action. It's Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Another try after the first down sack. Smith, and he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever. Now Geno. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Smith. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Walker is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the 17, Watson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Smith on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Smith's throw into the hands of Fan. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Smith. He completes this to Walker. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. To throw is Smith. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Myers' kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Again, it's Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down.
At the 60, at the 60.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Let's go now.
Geno now to throw. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll start from their own 5, so you'd have to imagine they'll stay conservative. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there.
And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety.
Normally we think about big swings and scores before a half. We think offense, but this time their defense made the play. Instant pressure off the snap, and they weren't going to let him find a way to escape.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Hurry, hurry!
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak. Because
he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
They juked him, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We got a brand new... He rifles one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Now Gino on first down. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Smith. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Throwing now is Gino. And Walker has it. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. 12 yards on third down as the drive rolls on. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing again is Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, it's Smith. Throwing right, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, Walker. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And now off to the races, down the right side. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. York now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 and the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll try it again with Bowden. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They really struggled in the first half, but they've made some adjustments looking better in the second half. But sometimes do we overanalyze? Is it always adjustments, or sometimes is it guys just sticking better to the game plan?
I think the latter, and I love how you brought that up, because we always want to credit, oh, they adjusted here and they made this change there. Sometimes it's just executing what they worked on in practice all week much better. In this case, I think it's a combination. They found a different part of their playbook, and it's working really well for them.
Working extremely well at this point.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 56 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run again on 1st down. Chubb, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. This complete to David Bell. And they'll work this down inside the 30. On 1st and 10, Watson. Right back to Bell, and it's caught once again. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Here's Watson. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. 2nd and 10, Smith again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
They lead big, think, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Finding space at the 40 and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
2nd down and 7. Smith now to throw. This one complete to Lacey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Again, Smith. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Gino. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. From the gun, here's Smith. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line. Smith throwing again. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit him over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Out of the gun, Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Throwing now, Watson. Flushed out right. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
So much goes into...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the gun, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Returnable for Lockett. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence they're going to put more points up on the board.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, you know they're going to look his way in the 2-minute drill, but that time he was blanketed, and they forced the incompletion. May need some teammates to step up in this spot.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
19 tight, 19 tight. Left day 19.
From the 50, it's Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Ready?
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it.
Let's go now.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Smith. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Smith. Finding Walker, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's good for 28 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Smith. to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath, and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
Ready, set.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here we go, here we go.
They snap it to Smith. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
Hey, you gotta snap it, you gotta snap it.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Cleveland, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they too will leave here at 1-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.
it.